Hello, want to share something with you that can help your self-employment life and your just life in general. Heard this quote from a football coach. He said, "Do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long." I'm gonna say that again: do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long. Okay, if you do it right the first time, if you do your work correctly the first time, it's actually a lot easier than having to go back and correct it. Okay, now this is something that's very simple, but it's something that a lot of us mess up on. Also, to stay tuned for the very end for a surprise. But a lot of us end up having to go through work because the first time we do it, we're doing it in a slapdash way. We're just scything through it. Okay, now if you want to save time, have more peace, and just make other people happy in an efficient way, do your work the first time. On Monday, we made a video about, or on Saturday, I made a video about your ABCs, A, B, C, D, E, which is always be careful and disciplined about everything, okay? This is how you can ensure that you're gonna do work right the first time, okay? Because as you've gotten older, you probably realize how fast time goes by. And if you don't have, if you barely have time to do it right the first time, where are you gonna find the time to do it right a second time, okay? So we talked about before in previous episodes that you wanna do the work that you're given quickly and well, okay? But sometimes though, if you go too fast, you can end up making mistakes and you have to go back. So we have to find the discipline to do work quickly, but also do a good job. And this is hard, okay? And sometimes you're just gonna make mistakes, especially if you're heavily involved in detail-oriented work, such as, like, let's say you're an architect or you audit companies or whatever you do. You wanna be careful, but you really wanna make carefulness and discipline a linchpin of what you do. But this is not about carefulness and discipline. This is about do the work right the first time, and keep that in your mind that I'm gonna do it right, and it's gonna be easier for everybody involved for me to just do it right so that you can forget it and move on to the next thing, because there's always something else in the future in the hinterlands that you've got to do, okay? And when you do it right the first time, it gives you confidence to do it right, do something else right the first time, make it a habit. Okay, so much of life is habits and just doing the same thing in the same way every day in a winning way. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind, but do work right the first time. Okay, because, if you're gonna get a lot done, you gotta be able to have a kind of a codification process. Like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, let's say you do illustration for, like, children's books. Like, you have a process, right? You're going to do. You're going to meet with the person. You're going to do the drawing. You're going to agree on it and then color it. And you do it every time. And then you do it right the first time. You're disciplined. You do the hard stuff. And it's hard to do it right the first time every time, because sometimes your feelings are just like, it's going to get in the way of me doing right. Like, you may want to go to sleep. But you got to understand, every time you have to go back and do it again, that's time that's lost that could have been stuff that's going to perpetuate you forward. Like, if you eliminate this habit from your life, it can really be a big step in helping you to move forward, whether you have debt or whether you're trying to get more clients or whether you want to be recognized more in what you're doing. Burning down the habit of having to go back and fix things can be a difference maker, okay? And it's those little things adding up that are going to make a huge difference. Like, I'm trying to burn this habit where I don't ever have to go back. You want to be as close to perfect as possible, for being honest, okay? Even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, okay? When you're working all day and you're like, I don't feel like doing it, just do it correctly the first time. Give it all your energy, all your focus, all your attention. That's why I don't like to listen to music when I work. I just like to work in silence, because it's really important. Veracity is very important. And so we got to keep that in mind. Now, this leads to today's surprise. Today's surprise is everybody's sore, everybody's tired, everybody has an excuse. Don't be everybody, okay? A lot of people are spending a lot of time having to go back and correct the mistakes that they made while at work. Get to the point where you barely have to ever go back and correct it because it was done correctly the first time. Okay. Remember, do things the right way every day. That'll help you. Okay. All right. And lastly, as always, unsuccessful people make decisions based on their current situation, but successful people, you hopefully make decisions based on where you want to be. Okay. Bye.